You have no idea how fast this car really is on the bus. Hey, give us some room. Oh, The MG.4 XP, the car that changed motoring history. That's a bold claim. Can I justify it? Let me try. One of the first cars to change motoring history was the Ford Model T. It made mass motoring available to the public. Was it any good? No, not really, but it was better than a horse, and you could afford one. The next car to follow along on that theme was the Volkswagen Beetle. Was it very good? Well, it made lots of people happy. It sold in millions. It was good transport. Was it the perfect design? Far from it, but people loved it. The next car to follow along in the theme, but in a very different way, was Jaguar in the 60s. The Mark II Jaguar and the E-Type. They were affordable, not cheap, but affordable, but it gave you a huge amount of performance for a relatively small amount of money. You got, with your E-Type, you got Ferrari performance in a car that was more affordable, more mass production. The MG4 does the same sort of thing, but in a much more high-tech way. There are lots of reviews of the MG4 on the internet, so I'm not going to waste your time today giving you every little detail, but let's just have a look around so you understand what the car really is. Well, from any angle, the MG4 is a good-looking car. It's very sharp and very clean and modern design. It stands out from the crowd, which is what you want in a modern car. The MG sits on 18-inch alloy wheels with large disc brakes. It also runs KERS, Kinetic Energy Recovery System. This, along with the one-pedal driving, helps the car to stop very efficiently. The front of the car has a series of vents. They're called active aero vents. They help to cool the battery, and they open and close as the battery requires cooling. Even from the back, the MG4 is a very stylish car. It has a small panel underneath, looks a bit like a diffuser. And on the top of the range models, like this one is, there is an aerodynamic aid to improve airflow over the back of the car. Stops lift at high speed, which is necessary on the MG4. The panel at the back has LED lights impregnated into it. And it looks very, very stylish at night, though I'd tend to put a bit of plastic film over it to protect it, because it could scratch quite easily. The boot is a large 363 litres with the seats folded up. The boot is easy to access. So are the back seats. They are comfortable, spacious. The front seats have 3 pockets in them for your devices if you're sitting in the back. There are also 3 head restraints, and an ISOFIX seatbelts are available for children's seats, hidden under the little panel when you don't need them. The floor is flat and gives the middle person plenty of footroom. The front seat is fully electrically controlled and can be adjusted into almost any position you want. The steering wheel is also adjustable front and back and up and down. The front dashboard is clean and modern, with the appropriate screens available to everyone. The brake and accelerator pedal on this car are aluminium with rubber inserts. This stops your feet from slipping off them, which is important in a high-performance vehicle like this. Well, to state the obvious, the MG.4 XP is a 5-door hatchback. It's a very good-looking car. It comes in lots of colours. The interior is very spacious and very comfortable for 4 to 5 people. On a long trip, it's absolutely marvellous because it's very, very quiet. Very, very quiet and comfortable. Or if you're just taking the children to school, well, it makes perfect sense too, because it is a very sensible car. Except it's not a sensible car. It is completely and utterly insane. Should we take it out for a drive? I think we should.
If you like this video, please tick like. Subscribe and share it with a friend. More videos at by George NZ.
The first thing you notice with the MG XP is just how quiet and comfortable it is. It is literally whisper quiet. All the controls are easy to hand. The quality of all the materials is nice. It has this slightly square steering wheel which seems to work quite well, and it's just a very nice place to be. The suspension is compliant and comfortable. So as a day-to-day car, It is absolutely marvellous. It's very quiet, very pleasant. Yeah, I think everyone would enjoy driving this. You can go into your control panel here and select Sport Mode, which livens it up a bit. It also has this sub-menu called Track Mode, which tracks your driving and tells you how you're doing. It tells you G-force and all sorts of other things. But quite frankly, that's not important. What is important is when you plant your right foot, the car simply rockets away. Unbelievably fast for a car of this type. If anyone thinks that petrol cars are going to compete with this, they're just joking, because the torque out of the corner is absolutely stunning. It has good brakes, they're not sensational. The steering is very direct and does what you want it to do. It's very precise. The feedback from the steering isn't fantastic, but it does what it's told. And you say turn in, it does, and accelerate out the corner faster than anything you'll ever drive. The other thing to remember when you want to compare this to a supercar, which I think you should, is that the cost of maintaining this is very, very cheap compared to a supercar. If I'd done the number of high-speed starts in a supercar as I have in this, it would need a new clutch. This simply just keeps going. It's got that modern reliability that you only get from twin electric motors. You've got traction control and all the other stability programs to hold it. It's got an e-diff. Hold on, we'll just get around these corners. And I can go very quick and stay on my side of the road. Most of the time. You've got all four wheels pulling you out of the corner. Mid-corner speed is good. This is on Bridgestone tyres. They're an all-season type of tyre. They're not like a fancy soft Michelin Cup 2 tyre, but they do the job pretty good. You can get them to squeal occasionally, but basically they do a very good job. They should last reasonably well. This car weighs about 1,800 kilos and they say, oh, it's too heavy, it's shocking. Actually, 1,800 kilos these days isn't actually that heavy for a car. I believe it's the same weight as a RAV4, which is hardly a tank. So you've got a really good package. It's a nice size, it's not too big, it's not too small. You've got this huge amount of torque out of the corner, which you can have a bit of fun with the weekend, or you can just let the kids go to school in it. I think the children would be only too happy to turn up to school in a car like this, especially if they'd been for a ride like this in it and could tell their kids how quick it really was. Because this would absolutely beat several supercars I've driven. As you know, I've been in Australia driving Porsches a few months ago, and I tell you what, this is a match for them every day of the week. It would probably give them quite a run for their money. You know, if you had unlimited funds and several garage spaces to put cars in, the noise of the Porsche 911 is absolutely superb, and you'd love that. But if you think of this, if you only had one car, this does everything. It's a beautiful hatch, it's very comfortable, it's very quiet here in the suburbs. And it comes with a 7-year MG warranty. Well, in conclusion, the MG.4 XP. Is it the car that changed motoring history? Well, it's a practical 5-door hatchback that you can probably afford. It's quiet, comfortable, nice place to be. But it's faster than a Porsche. And it's undoubtedly cheaper and easier to maintain than a Ferrari. So, has this car changed motoring history? Yes, it has.